Let's get into exercise number 1. We're going to shuffle forward and we're going to shuffle back. I'm going to show you the exercise and then I'm going to explain where we're using this in our basic walking technique. So what we're going to do is take a bow stance, one leg facing forward, the rear leg with the foot angled out at about 45 degrees, and we're going to bring the arms up. The arm by the rear leg is going to be up with a fist by the face, and the arm from the forward leg is going to be in front of that. The fists should be just about in front of each other. And we're going to sit back with a vertical posture. From the side view, it should look something like this. So this is going to be our basic stance that we're going to start with, and I'm going to shuffle forward and I'm going to shuffle back, and then I'm going to explain what's going on with this movement. So from this position, we're going to do 2 motions. First motion is shuffle forward, and the second motion is shuffle back. From the side view, shuffle forward, shuffle back. When I shuffle forward, the front knee and the rear knee are both going to extend. It's going to end up placing my foot on the heel, and I'm going to shift the weight to the flat of the foot and then replace the rear leg and just sit back down. I'll do that a little bit slower. We're going to shuffle, place the heel, place the flat of the foot, and then place the ball, and then the heel sink back. So that is the shuffle forward. Then we're going to shuffle back. One movement is going to trigger the shuffle back, and then we're going to place the ball of the foot, the heel, and then place the front foot down. Shuffle back, and then we're going to shuffle forward. So this movement is absolutely critical for normal walking technique. The shuffle forward is using the technique from the core. This involves your upper and lower waist muscles and your hip muscles, as well as your knees and your ankles. The motion that we do when we're walking, where we swing through, is the same movement from the shuffle forward, which is why you'll notice when we swing through, you're going to get the same actions. That's why when we're walking normally, not only is the standing leg knee going to extend and ankle dorsiflex, but the swing leg knee is going to extend and the ankle is going to dorsiflex before we place the heel on the ground. So watch again and you can see the actions happening. I don't need to lift the forward leg up off the ground. It is a reflexive action of the forward knee and ankle that's going to be triggered by the movement of the core that I'm doing. And that movement is all coming from the side of the rear leg in this case. So my right side hip is going to pull forward. I talk about this quite a bit, pulling versus pushing. So this is a pull from the front, hip flexors pulling forward as I tuck using the lower abs on the right, and I shift forward or rotate forward from the upper abs on the right. Lower abs and upper abs on the right, flexion of the right hip. That's what triggers this motion. In the walking code, I call this technique lift. It lifts us up or lifts us forward. From this position, we're going to shuffle forward. Now I'm going to demonstrate the second exercise because I want you to be able to do them one after the other so you can feel and see the difference between hip extension and hip flexion. So we are doing hip flexion to shuffle forward. It looks like the leg is extending behind the body, and in fact the leg is extending behind the body, but that doesn't mean I am using my glutes or my hip extensors to create that motion. If I use the same motion from the waist muscles and I use hip extension, if I extend from the glutes, that is what's going to happen. It's going to cause the cross or this punch from the rear hand. That is what happens when I use my core on the right, waist muscles, and hip extension. That's hip extension. That's hip flexion. One more time. Hip extension, hip flexion. When I flex the hip, it does not project the arm outward. It just causes my body to shift forward. When I extend from the glutes combined with this waist rotation automatically projects the arm outward in a punch. So when you activate the core correctly, if you keep your arms completely relaxed, that is what should happen. And if you do the lift technique properly from the front of the hip, and if you do it in a relaxed fashion, that is what will happen. So if you do those movements, you should very clearly feel the difference between a push and a lift, a hip extension and a hip flexion. Now we're going to take that movement and we're going to do a few different exercises from the same position and use it to transition us to a walking pattern. So the shuffle forward and the shuffle back, lift and then retreat. Now what I want you to do is we're going to do a lift, starting from this position, but not using the rear leg. So when I shuffled forward, I was using the core on the right. Now I'm going to lift, same core movement, but I'm going to do it on the left side. So I'm going to flex the left hip, tuck the left lower abs, and turn forward on the left. That is going to lift my body up on the left leg. Instead of lifting it forward from the rear leg, using the right side of the core, I'm going to lift myself up from the forward leg, using the left side of the core. So get in your stable standing position, and without pushing with the rear leg, using your core on the left side, pull yourself up. It should bring your swing leg foot almost closed, and then you'll have to close your body by turning the upper waist in the other direction to bring your feet together and then shift weight. But all of the lifting action should be done from the core on the side that you're about to lift up towards. So I'm not pushing off the rear leg. All of the core is active on the side that is lifting the body up. Now what we're going to do is do a walking forward lift from the left leg, but we're going to transition one movement at a time. So from this position, what we're going to do, instead of lifting forward, I'm going to retreat forward. So when I use retreat, it can, in certain circumstances, cause the body to move forward, because what's going to happen as I flex my rear hip, turn the lower abs backward on the right, and I turn, instead of forward on the right, I turn forward on the left. And so this is going to be another version of retreat. It's still going to cause my knee to extend, ankle to plantar flex this time, but it's going to cause the body to do this sort of action. So instead of my waist muscle going this way, it's going this way. So that's the first motion you're going to do from this position. We're going to do retreat. Everything turning towards the right hip. The right hip is flexing. So flex the right hip, tuck the right lower abs, turn the left lower, or turn the left upper waist. So that's the first motion. That is actually, when we're walking, the motion we use to place the heel. Now we're going to do the next motion, which is what lowers the forefoot when we're walking, and that is tucking. Tucking on the side of the leg that just hit the ground. I'm going to remove the tuck from the right, and I'm going to tuck on the left. And that's going to bring me up to this position. This is going to be the position when we're walking right before the swing through. And then now we're going to use the front of the hip muscle to activate the step forward. Now again, this is a pull from the front, not a push from the back. It's going to be very easy for you to feel the difference between the pull and the push from this position, because if you try to push, meaning push your knee back using your glutes, that's what's going to happen. So we're going to get back to this position. So now I'm going to activate the muscles in the front of my hip nice and slowly so I can feel it happening, and I'm going to lift the body forward. Facing the camera, everything turns towards the rear hip. That's retreat. Now I'm going to tuck the waist on the left using the lower abs. And then now I have only left to use the hip flexors to pull the body forward. That pulls me into the swing through phase of the step, and it will align your spine in the direction your foot is facing. So if you're a duck foot walker and you do that motion, it's going to pull your spine in line with the foot. So then when you place the next foot, it's going to be straight, and you'll be able to keep the core, the hips, the knees, and the ankles completely aligned.